My dad was a rocket scientist, and I was in Florida doing a convention. I was watching the last space shuttle go up, and the kid smoking next to me is like, "Oh, where are you from?" Salt Lake City. SLC Punk!
Hi, so who's here for the movie?
I don't know if you know how important Salt Lake City Punk is in Mexico.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I moved here just because of that movie.
Me encanta el punk rock, me encanta la música punk.
One of my favorite scenes is when Steve-O curses out his parents. Was this at all inspired by real life? And what did your parents think of this movie?
This was in SLC Punk. This was in Steve-O's dad's house.
Because I feel like the same year that this movie came out, I also went to a Backstreet Boys concert. Then I saw this movie, and it completely flipped me on the kind of music I listen to. So I'm just kidding.
I decided to dress up with Steve-O because he's my favorite character. I love Matthew Lillard.
I was a lot like Steve-O. People associated me with being a spoiled rich kid because my mother's very self-made.
I think, like I said, my favorite character is Mike, just because I think he's like the true punk.
We started high school the year this movie came out, and we watched it every day.
Yeah, we've watched it a lot. We've bought it on all platforms on both of our accounts.
The thing I do love about the movie is that I learn something new about myself every time I see it.
I feel like my story is similar to Steve-O in a way. I think having that character in the back of my mind as I grew up inspired me in a lot of ways.
Were any of these characters based on real people?
I grew up in Salt Lake in the 1980s. I was very near downtown, so I was skateboarding around and I saw the whole punk scene going on in the 80s. My dad said, "Don't hang out with those kids."
So I was in a band called the Massacre Guys that was around from 1980 to about 1985, and our guitar player was a guy named Steve-O.
We went to Judge Memorial Catholic High School together. James was a year ahead of me. I showed up one day with a mohawk, and it was kind of nuts.
You inspired one of the characters of the movie. Which one?
Oh, John the Bod, yeah.
And was it weird when you watched the movie to see yourself, kind of, or your experiences?
It was really weird, but it was also really cool.
It's been really cool throughout my kind of adult life to tell people, yeah, there's like a character in a movie that's partially based on me.
This is a cult film because I think it's more broadly relatable just about what young people go through.
The scene with Bob is very relatable and sad, and I think like the pain and confusion that you feel as a kid, especially, and trying to deal with that and process it and understanding death and losing someone that you're really, really close to is really hard.
I mean, it's how many years later, and people are still loving or hating on it. And they're still, whether they hate it or love it, they're still fucking inspired by it.
Getting high, he fucks up.